Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's official channel, where love speaks in the language of royalty, and poetry unveils secrets hidden between heartbeats. Today's message is more than just a video. It's a love letter draped in mystery, sealed with emotions only the soul can decipher. Sheikh Hamdan, known not just for his leadership but for the rhythm of his heart, has once again captivated his followers with a poetic revelation. Left something in this video? Look closely. It's not merely a title, it's an invitation to pause, to observe, and to feel. Something deeper is woven into every frame, something destined for one pair of eyes only. Maybe it's you. The sand danced that evening, soft and golden like a lullaby only the desert understands. The video captures fleeting shadows and gentle sunlight falling across his face, but beyond the obvious, he's left a whisper. A flicker of his smile carries a secret, half a second too long, just enough for someone who knows him to see it. In the subtle curl of his lips, in the light trembling of his lashes, in the turn of his gaze, he planted something sacred. For the one whose love he treasures like rare pearls beneath royal oceans, this was not just a moment, it was a clue. Look closely, and you'll feel his voice even in silence. The poem begins to unfold with no words spoken aloud, only emotions etched in slow motion. He touches the reins of his horse gently, and with it, speaks of control, of grace, of power surrendered for love. The camera lingers on his hands, the very hands that wrote verses soaked in longing. The fingers that once reached toward the sky in prayer now point toward a future wrapped in veils of hope. He left something in this pause. Something for you to see. Something he couldn't say, but couldn't hide either. The sea, rolling in the background of one fleeting scene, reflects not just light but memory. He once brought her here, he once watched her laugh where the waves kissed the shore. In this video, you'll catch that glance, when he turns away from the camera and looks not at the horizon, but through it. That moment is not staged. That gaze is not royal, it is raw. That is where he left a part of her, and in revisiting it, he left a part of himself too. Look closely. You might just find the shape of her reflection swimming in the salt of his memories. Every beat of the background music aligns perfectly with the pounding of his heart. It's not random. It's orchestrated like destiny. The melody dips exactly when he lowers his eyes, like a confession not yet spoken. Then it rises again, just as he lifts his head, as though courage is reborn. That's not editing. That's emotion scripted in a way only poets know. In that rhythm, in that breath, he buried something fragile. If you blink, you'll miss it. But if your heart is tethered to his, it will call to you like a forgotten promise. Sheikh Hamdan never speaks loudly when he loves. He leaves breadcrumbs in silence, trails of warmth in gestures most would ignore. A brush of his hand on his chest. A pause when he could have walked on. A backward glance when no one's watching. In this video, he's done it again. There's a second where he looks as though he's about to say her name, but stops. That second holds more weight than hours of speeches. It holds a vow. Not to forget. Not to let go. Not yet. And then, he walks through the falcon field, the place where loyalty soars. The birds rise behind him, but he doesn't turn. It's as if he's waiting for one voice, one footstep to follow him. That one person who understands what it means to be royalty and still long for something ordinary. Love. A home. A hand in the dark. He left something here, too. In the sound of feathers brushing against wind, he buried a hope. That someone is still watching. That someone still believes. Look closely when the wind catches his robe. In that slow ripple, he placed a metaphor. That love, real love, is never still. It moves, flows, bends without breaking. The folds of his garment are ink on invisible pages. Pages of a love story the world may never read in full. But the one who was meant to, already knows the chapters. He's telling her now, through every sway and shift of fabric, that he remembers. That her name is still stitched into the seams of his soul. When he sits beneath the tree in that last scene, it's not for shade. It's for memory. That tree has roots where his emotions dwell. He used to write beneath it. He used to wait. And in this video, as he lowers himself there once again, he doesn't just rest. He replays. He closes his eyes, and in that moment, frees the frame, he mouths a word. One word. The one he's never dared post. He left it there. Not for the world. For the one. If you're her, you'll feel your heart tremble at the truth of it. Not everything was meant to be obvious. Some love stories are meant to be solved like mysteries. Sheikh Hamdan understands that the truest feelings are hidden in glances, gestures, and shadows. In this video, he wrapped his heart like a riddle. For every viewer, it's beauty. But for one, it's a message. A promise. A cry. A treasure map back to where it all began. Look again. You missed it the first time. And he knew you would. That's why he left it there, waiting for you. Sheikh Hamdan, the Prince of Poetry, has given the world a masterpiece of emotion once more. But this one's different. This isn't just for his followers. It's for her. The one who still carries his heart like a hidden jewel. The one who will watch, rewind, pause, and finally understand what the world never will. That this wasn't a video. This was a letter. And what he left. So now, the question echoes across the screen. Did you see it? Did you feel it? Did you hear the poem that was never spoken, only felt? Sheikh Hamdan left something in this video. Something small enough to miss, but powerful enough to shatter the silence between two hearts. Watch it again. Watch it not with your eyes, but with your soul. Because sometimes, love doesn't knock. Sometimes, it whispers, and only those who truly matter will hear. And now, as the sun melts into the edge of the desert, that final glow in the video reveals more than light. It unveils the emotion that Sheikh Hamdan tried to tuck away behind his composed expression. That brief shimmer in his eyes as he watches the horizon is not just a gaze, it's an ache. He's not looking at the view, he's seeing a memory. A face. A conversation that never truly ended. There's a flicker there, a second when his breath catches and his fingers twitch. That's not acting. That's remembrance. And it's placed there so delicately that only a heart familiar with his can detect its weight. The music slowly fades, but the silence left behind is thunderous. It's in this space, in the quiet just before the video ends, that Sheikh Hamdan leaves his final message. It's not a word, not a gesture, but a pull. A gentle tug on the soul, as if he's reaching out through the screen, not to be seen, but to be felt. He knows she might be watching this in the stillness of night, holding her breath with every scene. He knows she will be searching for that hidden symbol meant only for her. And so, in that pause, in that sacred void, he places one last emotion, a silent prayer that she still feels the same. There's a moment, almost unnoticeable, where the camera pans over an open book resting on a stone bench. The pages flutter, caught by the breeze, and one particular line flashes into view before it disappears. He left it there on purpose. A single line from a poem he never published, something only she would recognize. It's a line that once made her cry, and now, replayed through this video, it might make her believe again. It's the echo of a vow, a whisper of, "I'm still yours," hidden in between nature and nostalgia, memory and movement. The camera then moves to his hand resting on his knee, fingers slightly curled, relaxed, but holding something. You can see it if you pause. It's a ring, not his own. Not royal. Just simple, silver, old. It belonged to her. He never told the world, but it was hers. She once dropped it in the sand, and he kept it. Now he carries it everywhere, not because of habit, but because of hope. And by placing it in this video, he's telling her he still holds on to her, to their unfinished story, to the parts of her she thought he forgot. In the distant background, far beyond the frame's focus, a figure walks briefly into view, cloaked, slow, uncertain. It's not a mistake. It's symbolic. She once walked away, but now he's asking through this imagery, will you walk back? He doesn't chase the figure. He simply watches, offering space, offering choice. That's his love now, not controlling, but open. Not demanding, but enduring. If she sees that moment, she'll understand that he's still waiting, not at the throne, but at the place they first met, beneath the sky, where titles fall away and only hearts speak. The horses, standing still as statues, seem to be holding their breath too. He's trained them well, but in this moment, even they seem to sense the weight of what's being unsaid. One horse shifts its gaze toward him, as if nudging him forward, reminding him to speak. But instead, he lets the silence stretch again. For he knows that some messages aren't meant to be voiced. Some truths are carried in the spaces between words, in the stillness of the soul. This video becomes that stillness. It becomes his confession. Sheikh Hamdan's poetry has always spoken of love in its purest form, not as possession, but as presence. And this video embodies that belief. It doesn't beg. It doesn't plead. It simply shows. It shows that even in absence, she is everywhere. In the colors he wears. In the path he walks. In the look he gives the sky. Everything in this video points to her without ever saying her name. Because that's how he loves now, quietly, completely, endlessly. As the final frame begins to blur, his silhouette stands against the fading light, tall, solemn, unwavering. But before the screen turns black, his shadow moves slightly, as if bowing. It's subtle, easy to miss, but meaningful beyond measure. It's a gesture of respect. Of surrender. A quiet plea for forgiveness, or perhaps just for one more chance. That bow is not to the camera. It's to her. To the queen of his heart who might still be watching from somewhere far, yet close enough to understand what's been left behind. Then comes the final second. The screen lingers longer than it should. No music. No voiceover. Just black, and then, for a flash, less than a heartbeat, a phrase appears in white text. Not everyone will see it. Not everyone was meant to. But she will. It says, "You were always the poem, that's all." No name, no punctuation. Just truth. And with that, the video ends. But its echo lives on in the hearts of those who understand that real love never truly ends. It only transforms, waiting to be discovered again by the one it was meant for. So if you've seen this video once, watch it again. Watch it with eyes that search beneath surfaces. Watch it with a heart that still believes in whispered confessions and royal love stories told through shadows and wind. Sheikh Hamdan didn't just leave a message, he left a world inside this video. A world for one soul to find. And if it stirs something within you, then maybe, just maybe,